I am Raye. Some of you may know me from my page Every Day with Raye. That is my personal blog page where I started documenting my journey after a diagnosis of infertility. And I saw that there was no transparency and representation for women that look like me. And so I decided to just share my story. And a lot of you followed along as I just believed God for healing and went down a path of holistic healing, changing my life to a more holistic and natural life that led to me naturally conceiving my son, King, and conceiving him naturally when doctors said that there was no way that I would ever conceive naturally due to PCOS, endometriosis, and infertility. And so I changed my life around, and that led me to becoming the natural mama, the breastfeeding, cloth diapering, baby wearing, co-sleeping, attachment parenting, trying to figure out how to wean this toddler off. That led me to this life that I have now. And I basically document my life and motherhood because, yes, but God. And I choose to document my life because I believe that representation matters. My first time ever seeing a Black woman breastfeed was in my 20s. It wasn't something that was normalized. Hey, I was the first one in my family and my generation to talk about cloth diapering and baby wearing and all these things. And I'm so thankful for all the people in the Mama SoKo who came before me to guide me along. So even the fact that I'm just sitting here right now is just so crazy to me because I feel like all of y'all are my big sisters and have guided me along in motherhood. So thank you all so much for this space. Thank you all for creating this, and thank you all for having me. But yes, so I document my journey in motherhood and in self-love. And also now I have moved into my Raye the Doula role. And birth has always been something that was near and dear to my heart. And I went on the nursing school path thinking that I wanted to be a labor and delivery nurse. And that was not what I wanted to do. I just did not like that role in birth. And so I am now on the doula role. So I am a fertility doula. Of course, I support women trying to conceive prenatally, during labor, birth, and postpartum here in the Atlanta area. And I also will travel back home to the South Georgia area where we know there are not as many doulas, there are not as many providers. And that's me. That's Raye. I'm your host. So thank you all for having me. Thank you for coming back into the chat. And so my code is Natural Mama. So remember the code Natural Mama for the giveaway. And what I will be giving away will be a $25 gift certificate to my shop. You can use that for waist beads or herbal baths, postpartum goodies, consultations, whatever you need, you have a gift certificate. So now we are going to go ahead and add on our first person, and that is Nurse Nikki. So let me just request Nurse Nikki to join into the chat. Yes, for the natural mamas. Let's see, we're waiting on Nurse Nikki.
Hey,
Hey, beautiful.
how are
How
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me and inviting me.
You're welcome. So I know like I follow you on my own journey trying to become my IBCLC, but can you tell all the people just a little bit about you?
Yep. So my name is Nikki Greenaway, but I'm better known as Nurse Nikki throughout my family, my friends, and even my patients. I'm Nurse Nikki. I'm a family nurse practitioner, and I'm an IBCOC, which is an International Board Certified Lactation Consultant. I am the only Black nurse practitioner IBCOC in the state of Louisiana.
Ooh.
Um, I'm a unicorn.
Yeah.
And so that can be a good thing and a bad thing some days. But here in Louisiana, I have a private practice where I do prenatal, postpartum, and lactation home visits. But now we switched over to telehealth, so we're doing prenatal, postpartum, and lactation telehealth visits, which has really opened up the door to now I can reach all of Louisiana. I can reach the world now, which has just been
Wow.
so crazy to me thinking about that. And now that I have clients in other states and one in Canada, it's been really cool. So I do that. I am the co-founder of Nikki and Nikki Lactation Career Consultants, where we help Black and Brown people get through this process of becoming IBCOCs because it is just, it's daunting. It's a
Confusing.
lot.
Like, I want to be this, but I can't even understand the rules.
The rules are cryptid, right? And they're encrypted. So Nikki and I, Nikisha Killing, she's IBCOC in LA, and we came up with Nikki and Nikki one day like 2 years ago, and we just been rolling with it, right?
Yes.
And so now we do these weekly chats for LER, these Q&As, just trying to help people navigate the pivot that people have had to make,
Mhm.
with COVID-19 and trying to figure out their business, trying to figure out what the rules are now that you can't sit for the exam, the April exam, which sucked really bad. So we're just trying to help folks figure it out. I'm trying to help families figure it out, trying to help lactation folks figure it out. That's my jam.
Everybody figure it out. So going back to COVID-19 and the switch
Right.
to telehealth,
Hmm.
what does that look like? Like, what type of visits are you doing? How are you supporting people? How are you operating?
Right. So in Louisiana, because I'm a healthcare provider here in Louisiana, I am the role of the provider. So I can assess, diagnose, and treat them, write prescriptions, and all those things here in Louisiana. But outside of Louisiana, it's more just for support. And I noticed that a lot of people, because the schedule has changed, like your prenatal visits has changed, you may have a virtual visit here, in-person
Oh,
visit
really?
here, things like that. So they're not going to their provider as often. They're not getting their questions answered because the visits, if you thought your prenatal visit was short before, it's real short right now. Okay.
Okay.
It's at the door. How you doing? How's your cervix? How you peeing? Is it yellow?
Oh
You
man.
know.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
very short. So that's where I come in and people contact me like, Nurse Nikki, I have questions. Like I'm very
Okay.
anxious. It's almost like a virtual doula with a healthcare provider background.
Okay.
So that's been really cool. And the postpartum stuff, people aren't even going for their postpartum visits at all. And that's what I'm saying. Like only 40% of women go to their postpartum visits anyway. So I think that's dropped down to like 20, maybe. Um, and I've had some interesting visits. And it was like, can I just show you this tear? And I'm like, you gonna put your vagina on my screen?
Oh, and
Like for
examine it.
real?
Okay.
Yeah, that's um. Give me 2 seconds to think about. Let me close some doors. Like who's gonna walk in and see this and what's
Oh,
about to happen? Um, but everyone's learning, right? We're learning how
right.
to even lactation visits. A lot of the parents were unsure. There are a lot of uncertainty about can you really help me? And you're way over there, and I'm over here. And it's all about comfort. It's all about tapping into a different learning that we have, like your left from your right, pivot the thing down, having somebody to help you, to support you, having good lighting, having good Wi-Fi, all those types of things. So it's really been a learning curve for all of us, especially providers, because I'm a home visit person. So this is the
Okay.
totally other end of the spectrum for me. I am
Right.
in the home in it, and now I'm through a screen. So it's been a learning curve for sure.
Well, so this is really different hearing this in Louisiana. So you're saying normally you, as the nurse practitioner, are in the home
Yes.
doing visits.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I do all my stuff in the home because in the home you can see everything. I'm all in your business. I'm trying to see, especially postpartum, like I'm seeing who helping, who ain't helping. If your house is spick and span clean and you sitting over there hurting, who did it? It was probably you.
uh,
Types of things. I have a sociology background, and
okay.
that is my first first profession was a case manager at a homeless shelter. And I tune into different things that folks wouldn't normally go. So when I go into the home, I'm taking my shoes off. I'm, going in and washing my hands. And as I'm looking around, I'm like, oh, have you eaten today? And like, there's nothing on the counter, nothing. It's like, oh no, I just had a granola, or some, like, you can see things
Right.
that you normally wouldn't see in a visit. Like in a visit, everyone is, they have on clothes, they're kind of manicured, they have their hair done. When I go to a home
Mhm.
visit, I literally look at, when I've gone to a home visit and a woman came to the door and she had on those little mesh underwear and her breasts were out. And she said, just help me, just do something.
Yeah.
And I was like, get back inside. Your neighbors are going to see you. But it's really cool. And I love doing that because I can see another angle and it can help me tune into different ways that I can help them, bringing in other services where I can help them.
Wow. I would have loved for my midwife or my nurse practitioner to have come see me at my house postpartum versus having to go out. So we're
Right. You
definitely
shouldn't
have
have
to
to
connect
leave.
later on so I
Hmm.
can learn about how you went this route.
Right. Yes,
This is so
absolutely.
amazing. And you're covered by insurance.
So I
You see how
am,
Georgia brain is still trying to process.
hey, hey, so I will say this. There are some insurances that don't understand what I do, right? They're like, Nurse Nikki, what do you do? Like Medicaid, they're still trying to figure it out. We just had the Medicaid
Okay.
expansion. So they're like, we should be able to pay for it. And they say, well, you should get like $200 as a nurse practitioner doing these visits. I'm like, really? Because I got $31 the last time. So so what I'm doing is trying to find other ways to fund the work that I do through grants and things like that because
Right.
folks shouldn't
Okay.
suffer. Like this should be a given, right? So some of the work that I do now
Exactly.
is with homeless shelters. That is the most marginalized community ever. And I deal with pregnant,
Yeah.
homeless teens in homeless, like, and I go in, I do their prenatal care, I do their postpartum care, and they don't have to go anywhere because, again, access is an issue. Just trust is an issue. 80% of my clients at the homeless shelter are victims of trafficking. So that's an issue of
Wow.
being criticized and the trauma and all those things. So it's awesome that they set it up where the shelter pays me through a grant that they have and I go into there and provide these services that they need so much.
Sis, you are amazing. Like I
Thank
already thought you were
you.
amazing, but you are even more amazing right now.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you would like to share?
So as a part of the giveaway, um, we're actually giving away a safe environment for your baby. So we're giving away an safety class, and the giveaway next week.
Okay. Do you have a code word or a keyword for people to
Are you there? Okay.
did it cut
The,
out?
yeah,
Did it cut out?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It did. It's
Oh
okay.
no. Technical difficulties. Okay, hopefully
Okay.
it's back. I'm good. Okay, I was just saying, did you have a code word for people to
It's
remember?
Nurse Nikki.
Okay, Nurse
Yes,
Nikki.
yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for,
you for having me. I appreciate this was fun.
yeah, thank you so much.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.
All right. So we are going to move along to our next